Victoria, I need to talk to you about something very important, and I really need you to sit down and listen to me carefully because what I am about to tell you is going to change everything about our lives. And I need you to understand that I have been struggling to find the right words to say this for the past 3 weeks now.
Marcus, you are really starting to worry me right now because you have been acting so strange lately, coming home late, not eating dinner with me, spending hours locked in your study, and I have been patient with you. But I deserve to know what is going on in this marriage, because I am your wife and we are supposed to share everything together.
I know, and that is exactly why I need to tell you this now before you find out from someone else. Victoria, the company filed for bankruptcy 3 days ago. Everything is gone. The investors pulled out after the scandal with my business partner, and I had no idea he was embezzling money from the company accounts for the past 2 years.
Wait, what do you mean everything is gone? Marcus, are you telling me that all of our savings, our investments, everything we have built together over the past 7 years of our marriage is just gone? How is that even possible? You told me the company was doing well.
I thought it was doing well, Victoria. I trusted Daniel with the finances, because he was my best friend since college, and I never imagined in a million years that he would steal from the company and leave me to take the fall. The authorities are investigating, but the damage is already done, and the creditors are coming after everything.
Everything? Marcus, please tell me you are not saying what I think you are saying. Please tell me that our house, our cars, our savings account, all of it is protected somehow. We have worked so hard for everything we have, and you are telling me that because of your so-called best friend, we are going to lose it all?
I am so sorry, Victoria. I wish I had better news. But the truth is that we are going to lose the house by the end of the month. The bank has already started the foreclosure process, and there is nothing I can do to stop it. I have hired a lawyer, but he says the chances of recovering anything are very slim.
This cannot be happening to me right now. I cannot believe that after everything I sacrificed for this marriage, after I gave up my career to support your dreams, after I stood by your side through every difficult moment, this is how it ends. I am 30 years old, Marcus, and you are telling me I am about to be homeless?
Victoria, please try to understand that this is not the end. Yes, we are going through an incredibly difficult time right now, but I have already started looking for new opportunities. I have been sending out my resume to different companies, and I have even reached out to some old contacts who might be able to help us get back on our feet.
Get back on our feet? Marcus, do you hear yourself right now? We are not talking about a minor setback here. We are talking about complete and total financial ruin. How are you supposed to find a job when there is a bankruptcy investigation going on? No reputable company is going to want to hire someone whose name is all over the news for all the wrong reasons.
That is not fair, Victoria. You know that I did not do anything wrong. I am a victim in this situation just as much as the employees who lost their jobs. Daniel is the one who stole the money, and I am the one who has to deal with the consequences of his actions. I need you to believe in me right now because your support means everything to me.
My support? You want my support after you have destroyed everything we have worked for? Marcus, I came from a good family. My parents warned me about marrying you, but I did not listen because I believed in you. I believed that you would give me the life I deserved, and now look at where we are.
So that is what this is really about, is it not? Your parents never thought I was good enough for you, and now you are finally admitting that you agree with them. Victoria, I have loved you since the day I met you, and I have done everything in my power to make you happy and give you a comfortable life.
A comfortable life that is now crumbling around us. Marcus, I did not sign up for this. When we got married, you promised me stability, security, and a future filled with possibilities. Now you are telling me that I need to give all of that up and start from scratch. I do not know if I can do that.
Victoria, I have been thinking about what you said earlier, and I need you to know that I understand your frustration and your fear. But I also need you to remember the vows we made to each other on our wedding day. We promised to love each other for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer. This is the worst part, and I need to know if you are going to stand by me.
Do not lecture me about wedding vows right now, Marcus. Those vows were made under the assumption that we would both be doing our part to maintain this marriage and this life. You failed to protect our assets, You failed to keep an eye on your business partner, and now you expect me to just accept the consequences of your failures.
My failures? Victoria, I was betrayed by someone I trusted with my life. This is not something I could have predicted or prevented. Daniel was like a brother to me, and he stabbed me in the back when I least expected it. I need compassion right now, not accusations.
Compassion will not pay our bills, Marcus. Compassion will not keep a roof over our heads or food on our table. I have been thinking about this situation all evening, and I have come to a decision that I need to share with you, even though it is going to be painful for both of us.
What kind of decision? Victoria, you are scaring me right now. Whatever it is, we can work through it together. We are a team, and teams do not give up on each other when things get tough. Please just tell me what you are thinking so we can discuss it like adults.
I have been in contact with my parents, and they have agreed to let me stay with them until I figure out my next steps. I cannot stay here and watch everything fall apart around me. I cannot live in poverty, Marcus. I was not built for that kind of life, and I refuse to pretend otherwise.
So you are leaving me? After 7 years of marriage, after everything we have been through together, you are just going to walk away because we hit a rough patch. Victoria, this is temporary. I will find a way to rebuild everything we have lost, but I need time, and I need you by my side.
I have packed everything that belongs to me, and my father is waiting outside to pick me up. Marcus, I want you to know that this is not easy for me, and I did not make this decision lightly. But I have to think about my future and my well-being, and I cannot do that if I am drowning in your financial problems.
Victoria, please, I am begging you to reconsider. I have already received the call back from 2 companies about potential job opportunities. If you could just give me a few more weeks, I know I can turn this situation around. Please do not throw away 7 years of our lives because of a temporary setback.
A temporary setback? Marcus, wake up and face reality. You are about to be homeless, you have no job, no savings, and your reputation is destroyed. Even if you do find a job, it will take years, maybe even decades, to rebuild what you have lost. I am 30 years old, and I do not have that kind of time to waste.
So our marriage, our love, everything we built together, that was all just a waste of time to you? Victoria, I loved you more than anything in this world. I would have done anything for you, and I thought you felt the same way about me.
I did love you, Marcus, in my own way. But love does not pay the bills, and love does not give me the lifestyle I deserve. I need to be with someone who can provide for me, someone who can give me stability and security. You had your chance, and you blew it.
This is unbelievable. The woman I married, the woman I thought I knew better than anyone else in the world, is abandoning me in my darkest hour because of money. What happened to the Victoria who said she would love me no matter what? What happened to the woman who told me that our love was worth more than all the money in the world?
That Victoria grew up and realized that the world does not work on fairy tales and romantic notions. Money matters, Marcus. Status matters. Security matters. And right now, you cannot provide any of those things. I am sorry, but I have to look out for myself because clearly, you are not capable of looking out for either of us.
Before you go, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest with me because I deserve at least that much after everything we have been through together. Is there someone else? Is there another man in your life that you have been hiding from me?
I was not planning to tell you this way, but since you asked, yes, there is someone else. His name is Richard, and he is a successful investment banker who has been pursuing me for the past few months. I told him I was married, but he was persistent, and now that my marriage is falling apart, I see no reason to deny myself the opportunity for a better life.
You have been seeing another man while we were still married? Victoria, that is not just walking away from a marriage, that is betrayal of the worst kind. How could you do this to me? How could you stand there and look me in the eye knowing that you have been unfaithful to our vows?
I never slept with him if that is what you are implying. We have only had dinners and conversations, nothing physical. But he has made it very clear that he is ready to give me everything you cannot, and I would be a fool to turn that down. Richard has a penthouse in the city, 3 vacation homes, and a net worth that would make your head spin.
So this is what our marriage has come down to? You are comparing me to another man based on his bank account? Victoria, I built a successful company from nothing. I worked 18-hour days to give you the life you wanted. And yes, it all came crashing down, but that does not erase the hard work and dedication I put into our future.
Hard work and dedication mean nothing if you cannot maintain success. Richard has been wealthy his entire life, and he comes from a family that knows how to protect their assets. Unlike you, he would never let something like this happen. I am sorry, Marcus, but this is goodbye.
Marcus, I came as soon as I got your message. I cannot believe what has happened to you over the past month. When you called me and told me about Victoria leaving and the bankruptcy, I thought you were exaggerating. But seeing you like this, in this empty apartment with nothing but a mattress on the floor, it breaks my heart. James, I appreciate you coming to check on me, but there is really nothing you can do to help. I have lost everything, my wife, my company, my home, my savings, and my reputation. I am starting from less than zero because I still have debts that need to be paid off, and I do not even know where to begin. That is exactly why I am here, brother. You may have lost a lot of things, but you have not lost your family. I talked to Mom and Dad, and they want you to know that they are here for you no matter what. We can help you get back on your feet, even if it takes time. I do not want to be a burden on anyone, James. I am a grown man, and I should be able to take care of myself. The fact that I am living in this rundown apartment and eating instant noodles every day because I cannot afford anything else is humiliating enough without having to rely on my family for handouts. It is not a handout when family helps family. Marcus, you helped me pay for college when I could not afford it. You gave me a job at your company when no one else would hire me. Now it is my turn to return the favor. Let me help you, even if it is just covering your rent for a few months until you find a job. I have been applying to every company in the city, but no one wants to hire someone whose name has been associated with a bankruptcy scandal. Even though I was cleared of any wrongdoing and Daniel is the one facing charges, the damage to my reputation is done. People see my name and immediately think of fraud and failure.
Marcus, I could not believe it when I saw your name come up on LinkedIn. We have not spoken since graduation. What has it been, 10 years now? When I read about what happened with your company, I felt so terrible for you, and I knew I had to reach out and see how you were doing.
Elena, it is so good to see a friendly face. To be honest with you, these past few months have been the hardest of my entire life. I lost my company, my wife divorced me and is now married to some wealthy banker, and I have been struggling to find anyone who is willing to give me a chance to prove myself again.
I am so sorry to hear about your wife, Marcus. I remember you two seemed so happy at your wedding. It must have been devastating to have her leave you during such a difficult time. But I want you to know that not everyone has given up on you, and that is actually why I wanted to meet with you today.
What do you mean? Elena, if this is about offering me money or charity, I appreciate the thought, but I really cannot accept anything like that. I need to find my own way out of this mess, even if it takes me years to do so.
Actually, this is not about charity at all. I work for a venture capital firm now, and we specialize in investing in people, not just ideas. I have been following your career for years, and I know that what happened with your company was not your fault. You were betrayed by someone you trusted, and that does not reflect on your abilities as a businessman.
That means more to me than you could possibly know, Elena. Most people have written me off completely, and to hear that someone still believes in my abilities is incredibly encouraging. But I do not have any new business ideas right now. I am just trying to survive day to day.
That is perfectly fine, Marcus. What I am proposing is not that you start a new company right away. I want to offer you a position at our firm as a consultant. The pay is modest to start, but it comes with an opportunity to learn about investing and perhaps develop something of your own down the line. What do you say?
Elena, I cannot thank you enough for giving me this opportunity. These past 3 months working at the firm have been incredible, and I feel like I am finally starting to regain some sense of purpose and direction in my life. Every day I come into this office, I am reminded that there are still good people in this world who believe in second chances.
You have earned everything you have achieved here, Marcus. The partners have been extremely impressed with your work ethic and your insights on the tech startup proposals we have been reviewing. In fact, That is exactly what I wanted to talk to you about today, because there is an opportunity that I think would be perfect for you.
What kind of opportunity? I am open to anything at this point, because I am determined to rebuild my life and prove to everyone who doubted me that they were wrong about me. Whatever it is, I am ready to put in the work and make it happen.
There is a small tech startup that came to us looking for funding. They have developed an innovative software solution for supply chain management, but they lack experienced leadership. The partners are interested in investing, but only if we can provide them with someone who has proven business experience to guide the company. I immediately thought of you.
You want me to lead a startup? Elena, I am flattered, but I do not know if I am ready for that kind of responsibility again. The last time I was in charge of the company, everything fell apart, and I am not sure I can handle that kind of pressure so soon after what happened.
Marcus, what happened to your previous company was not because of anything you did wrong. You were sabotaged by someone you trusted, and that is a risk that exists in every business relationship. But you have also shown that you have the skills and the determination to succeed. The question is whether you are willing to take another chance on yourself.
Marcus, I have heard a lot about you from Elena, and I have to admit that when she first mentioned your name, I was hesitant because of everything that happened with your previous company. But after doing my own research and speaking with people who have worked with you, I am convinced that you are exactly the person we need to help take our company to the next level. David, I appreciate your willingness to look past the headlines and give me a fair evaluation. What happened with my previous company was the most painful experience of my life, but it also taught me invaluable lessons about trust, due diligence, and the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people. I will not make the same mistakes twice. That is exactly what I wanted to hear. Our company, Chainlink Solutions, has developed technology that could revolutionize how businesses manage their supply chains. We have the technical expertise, but we lack the business acumen and the connections needed to scale from a small startup to a major player in the industry. That is where you come in. Tell me more about your technology and your vision for the company. I want to understand exactly what I would be working with before I make any commitments, because if I am going to take on this challenge, I need to believe wholeheartedly in what we are building together. Our software uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to predict supply chain disruptions before they happen. Imagine being able to tell a company that there will be a shortage of a specific component 3 months from now, giving them time to find alternative suppliers or adjust their production schedules. We have already proven the technology works with a few small clients, but we need investment and leadership to grow. That is genuinely impressive, David. The potential applications for this technology are enormous, especially in today's global economy where supply chain issues can make or break a company. I am starting to see why Elena thought this would be a good fit for me. I would like to learn more about your team and your current financial situation before making a decision.
Marcus, I have to tell you that when the recruiter first approached me about joining Chainlink Solutions, I was skeptical. I had a comfortable position at a Fortune 500 company, and the idea of joining a small startup led by someone with a bankruptcy in his past seemed risky at best. But after meeting with you and the team, I knew this was something special.
Sarah, I am glad you decided to take a chance on us. Building a strong team has been my top priority since I joined this company, and having someone with your experience in marketing and brand development is exactly what we need to compete with the bigger players in our industry.
What convinced me was not just the technology, which is genuinely groundbreaking, but the culture you have created here. Everyone I talked to during the interview process spoke about how different this company feels compared to other places they have worked. There is a sense of transparency and mutual respect that is rare in the corporate world.
That transparency is something I learned the hard way. In my previous company, I trusted my partner to handle things without really understanding what was going on behind the scenes. That trust was misplaced, and it cost me everything. Now I make sure that everyone on the team understands the big picture, from our financials to our strategic goals. There are no secrets here.
I appreciate that approach, and I think it is going to be a major factor in our success. Speaking of success, I have been working on a marketing strategy that I would love to share with you. I believe that if we position ourselves correctly, we could be the industry leader within 3 years.
I would love to hear about your strategy, Sarah. This company has become like a second chance at life for me, and I am determined to make it succeed not just for myself, but for everyone who believed in me when I was at my lowest point. Let us schedule a meeting with the full team to discuss your ideas. Marcus, I just got off the phone with the procurement team at Global Tech Industries, and I still cannot believe what I am about to tell you. They want to sign a 3-year contract with us worth $25 million. This is the breakthrough we have been waiting for, and it is all because of the work you have done building relationships with these major corporations. David, that is incredible news. When I first joined this company, I never imagined we would be landing contracts of this magnitude so quickly. This deal is going to put Chainlink Solutions on the map and show the industry that we are serious competitors who can deliver results. I have to admit, Marcus, that when Elena first suggested bringing you on board, I had my doubts. Your reputation was in tatters, and I was not sure if you could recover from what had happened. But watching you work these past 12 months has been nothing short of inspiring. You have completely transformed this company. I appreciate those words, David, but I could not have done any of this without you and the rest of the team. The technology you developed is the foundation of everything we are building, and the people we have brought on board have been incredible. This success belongs to everyone at Chainlink Solutions. Speaking of the team, I think it is time we start discussing your equity stake in the company. You came on as a consultant with a modest salary, but you have delivered value far beyond what we originally agreed upon. The board has approved giving you a 15% ownership stake in recognition of your contributions. David, I do not know what to say. When I was living in that empty apartment with nothing but a mattress and eating instant noodles, I never imagined that I would be in this position just a year later. This is more than a job to me. It is proof that I was not defined by my failures. Marcus, you look like a completely different person from the man I visited in that depressing apartment 2 years ago. When I look at you now, in your nice suit, talking about million-dollar deals and equity stakes, I can hardly believe the transformation. Mom and Dad are going to be so happy when I tell them about your success. James, none of this would have been possible without the support you and our parents gave me during my darkest days. When Victoria left and everyone else wrote me off, you were there to remind me that I still had value and that my life was not over. I will never forget that. That is what family is for, brother. Speaking of family, I have some news that I was not sure whether to share with you, but I think you have the right to know. I ran into someone at a business conference last week who mentioned Victoria's name, and what they told me was quite interesting. Victoria? I have not thought about her in months. What could possibly be interesting about a woman who abandoned me when I needed her most and ran off with a wealthy banker? I have moved on with my life, and she is nothing but a painful memory. Well, apparently things are not going as well for her as she thought they would. The person I spoke to said that Richard, her new husband, has been having some serious financial troubles of his own. There are rumors that his investment bank is being investigated for fraud, and their lavish lifestyle may not be as secure as she thought. I cannot say I am surprised. Victoria chose Richard because of his money, not because of any genuine connection or love. If his money goes away, I wonder what will happen to their relationship. But honestly, James, I do not care about her life anymore. She made her choice, and now she has to live with the consequences.
Marcus, the investment presentation you gave yesterday was absolutely phenomenal. I have been in this industry for 15 years, and I have never seen the partners react so enthusiastically to a growth proposal. They are talking about increasing our investment in Chainlink Solutions by another $50 million to fund the expansion into international markets.
Elena, I still remember sitting in that coffee shop with you 3 years ago, wondering if I would ever be able to work again. Now we are talking about international expansion and investments that would have seemed impossible back then. You took a chance on me when no one else would, and I will never forget that.
You took a chance on yourself, Marcus. I just opened the door. You are the one who walked through it and built something remarkable. Chainlink Solutions is now valued at over $200 million, and industry analysts are predicting that you could be worth billions within the next 5 years.
It still does not feel real sometimes. I wake up in my new apartment, in the building I could only dream about affording before, and I have to pinch myself to make sure I am not dreaming. But as much as the financial success means to me, what means even more is proving that I was worth believing in.
Speaking of believing in you, There is something I need to tell you that I have been holding back for a while now. Marcus, over these past 3 years of working together, I have developed feelings for you that go beyond our professional relationship. I know the timing might seem strange, but I wanted to be honest with you.
Elena, I would be lying if I said I had not noticed the connection between us growing stronger over time. But I have been hesitant to pursue anything romantic because our professional relationship is so important to me, and I did not want to jeopardize what we have built together.
I understand your hesitation, and I respect it completely. But I also believe that life is too short to let fear hold us back from something that could be beautiful. I am not asking for any commitments right now. I just wanted you to know how I feel so we can figure out what this means for both of us.
Elena, this past month has been one of the happiest of my life. Getting to know you outside of our professional context has shown me a side of you that I always suspected was there, but never had the chance to experience. You are kind, intelligent, supportive, and everything I could ever want in a partner.
Marcus, I feel the same way about you. What I find most attractive about you is not your success or your accomplishments, although those are certainly impressive. It is the way you treat people, the way you never forgot where you came from, and the way you remained humble even as everything in your life improved.
That humility comes from experience, Elena. I know what it feels like to lose everything and to be treated like I was worthless, because I did not have money or status. That experience taught me that a person's true value has nothing to do with their bank account and everything to do with their character.
That is exactly why you are different from other successful men I have met. They let their success go to their heads, but you have remained grounded and genuine. I hope you know that my feelings for you have nothing to do with your wealth or your position in the company. I would have loved you just as much if you were still struggling.
I know that, Elena, and that is precisely why this relationship feels so different from my marriage to Victoria. With her, I always felt like I had to prove my worth through achievements and material possessions. With you, I feel like I am enough just as I am, regardless of what I have accomplished.
You are more than enough, Marcus. You are extraordinary, and I am grateful every day that our paths crossed again after all those years. Whatever happens in the future, I want you to know that I am committed to supporting you and loving you, not for what you have, but for who you are.
Marcus, I just received the final paperwork from the acquisition team at Megacorp International. They have agreed to all of our terms, including the employee protection clauses and the commitment to maintaining our company culture. This is it, my friend. We are about to become billionaires. David, when you first showed me your technology 5 years ago, neither of us could have imagined that it would lead to this moment. A $2 billion acquisition is beyond anything I ever dreamed possible, especially after everything I went through before joining Chainlink Solutions. You made this possible, Marcus. Your leadership, your vision, and your ability to connect with clients and investors transformed our small startup into an industry powerhouse. I am the one who developed the technology, but you are the one who showed the world why it mattered. We made this possible together, David, along with everyone else on our team. And I want to make sure that everyone who contributed to our success shares in the rewards. The acquisition deal includes generous payouts for all of our employees, and I insisted on that because I believe in taking care of the people who helped build this company. That is exactly the kind of leader you are, Marcus. Most people in your position would try to maximize their own share of the payout, but you are thinking about everyone else first. I have learned so much from watching you operate over these past 5 years, and I am proud to call you my partner and my friend. The feeling is mutual, David. Now, let us call the team together and share this incredible news. They deserve to know that their hard work has paid off in ways that will change their lives forever. And then I need to make a phone call to someone very special. Elena, I brought you to this rooftop because it holds a special meaning for me. This is where I used to come during my darkest days, when I was living in that tiny apartment and wondering if my life would ever get better. I would look out at the city skyline and dream about a future that seemed impossible.
Marcus, this view is absolutely breathtaking. I had no idea you had such a meaningful connection to this place. Thank you for sharing something so personal with me.
I brought you here because I want to share everything with you, Elena, not just the good parts, but the struggles and the fears and the dreams that kept me going when everything seemed hopeless. You have become the most important person in my life, and I cannot imagine my future without you in it.
Marcus, you are making me emotional right now. I feel the same way about you. These past 2 years of being with you have been the happiest of my life, and I know that whatever challenges we face in the future, we will face them together.
Elena, I want to ask you something that I have been thinking about for a long time now. When I was married to Victoria, I thought I knew what love was, but I realize now that what we had was based on conditions and expectations. What I feel for you is different. It is unconditional, it is pure, and it is real.
Marcus, what are you trying to say?
Will you marry me? Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife and building a life together based on love, trust, and mutual respect? I promise to cherish you, support you, and love you with everything I have for the rest of my days.
Yes, Marcus. 1,000 times yes. I would be honored to be your wife. This is the happiest moment of my life. Marcus? Is that really you? I almost did not recognize you in that expensive suit, standing here at one of the most exclusive charity galas in the city. You look so different from the man I left 6 years ago.
Victoria, I would be lying if I said I expected to see you here tonight. How have you been? I heard through the grapevine that things have not been going well for you lately.
The grapevine has been exaggerating, as it always does. Richard and I are doing just fine, despite what people might be saying about his business difficulties. We are working through some challenges, but every marriage has its ups and downs.
I seem to recall that you were not interested in working through challenges when they affected our marriage. In fact, if I remember correctly, you told me that you did not sign up for struggles and walked out the door to be with a man who could provide you with stability and security.
Marcus, please do not be bitter. What happened between us was a long time ago, and we were both different people back then. I made a decision that I thought was right for me at the time, and I cannot change the past, no matter how much I might want to.
Bitter? Victoria, I am not bitter at all. In fact, I should thank you for leaving when you did, because your departure was the catalyst that forced me to rebuild my life from scratch. If you had stayed, I might never have had the motivation to become the person I am today.
And who exactly are you today, Marcus? I have heard whispers that you have done well for yourself, but I do not know the details. The last time I saw your name in the news was when your company went bankrupt, and I assumed you had faded into obscurity.
Victoria, it seems you have not been keeping up with business news lately. My company, Chainlink Solutions, was acquired 6 months ago for $2 billion. I am now one of the wealthiest entrepreneurs in this city, and I am here tonight because I am the primary donor for this charity event.
Whoa, $1 billion? Marcus, that is impossible. When I left you, you had nothing. You were living in a run-down apartment, eating instant noodles, and begging me to stay. How could you have possibly built a company worth $2 billion in just 6 years?
I built it the same way I built my first company, through hard work, determination, and surrounding myself with people who believed in me. The difference is that this time, I was more careful about who I trusted, and I did not have a partner who would stab me in the back.
Marcus, I had no idea. If I had known that you were capable of this kind of success, I never would have. I mean, I always believed in your potential, but the timing was just so difficult, and I was scared.
You were scared? Victoria, I was terrified. I had just lost everything, and the woman I loved more than anything in the world abandoned me because I could not provide her with the lifestyle she wanted. Do you have any idea how devastating that was? It took me years to recover from the emotional damage you caused.
I understand now that I made a terrible mistake, Marcus. When I look at you tonight, successful, confident, and clearly happy, I realize that I gave up on something precious because I was too focused on material things. I was young and foolish, and I let my parents' values influence my decisions.
Your parents' values? Victoria, you were 30 years old when you left me. You were not a child being manipulated by your parents. You were an adult who made a conscious choice to abandon her husband in his darkest hour. You do not get to blame that on anyone else.
Marcus, can we please find somewhere quiet to talk? There are things I need to say to you, things I should have said years ago, and I cannot do it in the middle of this crowded room where everyone might overhear us.
Fine, but I want you to know that nothing you say is going to change anything. I have moved on with my life, and I am engaged to an incredible woman who loves me for who I am, not for what I have. Whatever we had is in the past, and that is where it is going to stay.
You are engaged. To whom? Is it someone I know? Marcus, I need to know who has captured your heart, because I still think about you every day. I know I have no right to feel this way after what I did, but I cannot help it.
Her name is Elena, and she is the one who gave me my second chance when no one else would. She saw my potential when my reputation was in tatters, and she believed in me when the whole world had written me off. She is everything you were not: Victoria, loyal, supportive, and genuinely loving.
Elena, I think I know who you are talking about. I saw pictures of you two together in a business magazine recently. She is beautiful, I will give you that. But Marcus, she does not know you like I know you. We were together for 7 years, and that kind of history does not just disappear.
You are right that our history does not disappear, Victoria. I carry the scars of our marriage with me every day. But those scars remind me of what I do not want in a partner and help me appreciate what I have found with Elena. She makes me happy in a way that you never could.
Marcus, I made a mistake, a terrible, unforgivable mistake. Richard has been nothing but a disappointment. His money is gone, his reputation is ruined, and he treats me like a trophy rather than a partner. I have been miserable for years, and all I can think about is the life I could have had with you.
So let me make sure I understand what you are saying. Now that Richard's money is gone and you are unhappy, you suddenly remember that you loved me all along. That is quite convenient timing, Victoria, especially considering that you just found out I am a billionaire.
It is not about the money, Marcus. I swear to you that my feelings are genuine. Yes, the timing looks bad, but I have been thinking about you long before I knew about your success. I was just too proud to reach out after the way I left things between us.
You were too proud? Victoria, you told me that I was a loser who would never amount to anything. You said that love does not pay the bills and that you needed to be with someone who could provide for you. Those words are burned into my memory, and no amount of apologies can erase them.
I know, and I am so ashamed of the things I said to you. I was scared and desperate, and I lashed out at the person who deserved it least. You were nothing but kind and loving to me, and I repaid you with cruelty and abandonment. I will never forgive myself for that.
You want forgiveness? Fine, I forgive you, Victoria. Holding on to anger and resentment only hurts me, and I refuse to let the pain you caused define my future. But forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. My heart belongs to Elena now, and nothing you say or do is going to change that.
Marcus, please, I am begging you to give me another chance. I know I do not deserve it, but I also know that what we had was real, and we could have it again if you would just open your heart to the possibility. I have changed, I promise you. I am not the same woman who left you 6 years ago.
You are right that I have changed, Victoria, but you have not. The only thing that has changed for you is your circumstances. If Richard were still wealthy and your lifestyle were still intact, you would not be standing here pleading with me. You would be at home, enjoying your penthouse, without a second thought about the man you abandoned.
Marcus, there you are. I have been looking for you everywhere. The event organizers want to introduce you before your speech, and they are getting anxious. Is everything okay? You look like you have seen a ghost.
Elena, I apologize for disappearing. I ran into someone from my past, and the conversation took longer than I expected. But I am fine now, and I am ready to give my speech and enjoy the rest of the evening with you.
Someone from your past? Wait, was it her? Was it Victoria? I noticed a woman watching you earlier, and I had a feeling something was not right. Did she say something to upset you?
She tried to convince me to give her another chance, but I shut that down immediately. Elena, you have nothing to worry about. Victoria is my past, and you are my present and my future. Nothing she could say or do would ever make me question my decision to be with you.
I trust you completely, Marcus, and I am not jealous or insecure. But I want you to know that if you ever need to talk about what happened between you and Victoria, I am here to listen. The past can have a powerful hold on us, and I want to help you work through any lingering feelings you might have.
Thank you for being so understanding, Elena. The truth is, seeing Victoria tonight actually reinforced how grateful I am to have you in my life. She represents a chapter of my life that was filled with pain and disappointment, while you represent everything good that has happened since then.
I love you, Marcus. Now let us go give that speech and show everyone why Chainlink Solutions was worth $2 billion. I want to stand by your side and watch you shine, just like I always have.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce tonight's keynote speaker and the generous donor who has made this charity event possible. Marcus Chen rose from the ashes of financial ruin to build one of the most successful technology companies in the world. His story is one of resilience, determination, and the power of second chances. Please welcome Marcus Chen. Thank you for that generous introduction, and thank you to everyone who is here tonight to support this incredible cause. I stand before you not as someone who was born into success, but as someone who had to fight for every opportunity and overcome obstacles that seemed insurmountable at the time. Marcus, your story has inspired so many people. Can you share with our audience what motivated you to keep going during your darkest moments? When I lost my company 6 years ago, I also lost my wife, my home, and my sense of self-worth. I was living in a tiny apartment, struggling to afford basic necessities, and wondering if my life would ever get better. But even in those dark moments, I refused to give up because I believed that my story was not over yet. And what a remarkable second chapter you have written. What advice would you give to others who are facing seemingly impossible challenges? I would tell them that the people who abandon you in your darkest moments are not the people who deserve to be there for your success. Surround yourself with those who believe in your potential, even when you cannot see it yourself. And never let your failures define you, because every setback is just a setup for an even greater comeback. Brother, that speech was absolutely incredible. I looked around the room, and there were people with tears in their eyes. You have come so far from where you were, and I could not be prouder of the man you have become. Mom and Dad would be so proud if they could have been here tonight. They are proud, James. I spoke with them yesterday, and they reminded me of how far our family has come. We grew up with nothing, and now I am in a position to give back to my community and help others who are going through what I experienced. Speaking of giving back, I noticed Victoria was at the event tonight. Did she try to talk to you? I saw her lurking around earlier, and I was worried she might try to cause problems. She tried to convince me to take her back, James. She gave me this whole speech about how she made a mistake and how Richard turned out to be a disappointment. But I could see right through her, and I made it very clear that my heart belongs to Elena now. Good for you, Marcus. Victoria never deserved you in the first place. The way she treated you when you were at your lowest was unforgivable, and I am glad you did not let her manipulate you into giving her another chance. The irony is not lost on me, James. She left me because I had nothing, and now she wants me back because I have everything. But the money is not what makes me valuable, and the fact that she still does not understand that proves she has not changed at all.
Marcus, wait. Please, I need to talk to you one more time before you leave. I have been watching you all night, and I cannot stop thinking about the life we could have had if I had made different choices.
Victoria, we have already had this conversation, and my answer is not going to change. I am going home with my fiancée, and tomorrow I am going to wake up next to the woman who loves me unconditionally. That is my life now, and you are not a part of it.
Do you remember our wedding day, Marcus? Do you remember how happy we were, how we danced until midnight and talked about all the dreams we would accomplish together? That love was real, and I know it is still there, buried beneath all the pain and resentment.
What I remember about our wedding day is making vows that you broke without a second thought. I remember promising to love you for better or worse, and I remember you walking out the door when the worst part came. Those memories are tainted now, Victoria, and they always will be.
I was wrong, Marcus. I was so incredibly wrong, and I have spent the last 6 years regretting my decision every single day. Please, just give me one chance to prove that I have changed. Let me show you that I can be the wife you deserve.
The wife I deserve is waiting for me in the car, Victoria. Her name is Elena, and she has earned that title through years of unwavering support and genuine love. You had your chance, and you threw it away because you valued money over commitment. Now you have to live with the consequences of that choice. Elena, when I first met you again in that coffee shop 5 years ago, I was a broken man with nothing to offer except my determination to rebuild my life. You saw something in me that I could not see in myself, and you gave me the opportunity that changed everything. Today, I stand before you, not as a wealthy man, but as a man who is wealthy beyond measure, because I have your love.
Marcus, I did not fall in love with you because of your success or your accomplishments. I fell in love with your resilience, your integrity, and your unwavering commitment to doing what is right. You have shown me what true partnership looks like, and I am honored to be your wife.
I promise to love you unconditionally, to support you in your dreams, and to stand by your side through every challenge and every triumph. I promise to never take your love for granted and to spend every day showing you how grateful I am that you chose me.
I promise to believe in you, even when you doubt yourself, and to be your partner in everything we do. I promise to love you not for what you have, but for who you are, today and every day for the rest of our lives.
Elena, you are my second chance at love, and I am going to cherish you forever. I love you with all my heart, and I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life proving that to you.
I love you too, Marcus. Now let us begin our forever together.
Marcus, I cannot believe it has been 7 years since we first started working together. Look at what we have built. A new company valued at $3 billion, offices in 10 countries, and a reputation as the leader in our industry. This is beyond anything I ever imagined. It is remarkable, David. When I think about where I was 7 years ago, homeless, broken, and abandoned by the woman I loved, I realized that every struggle was preparing me for this moment. The pain I experienced made me stronger, wiser, and more appreciative of everything I have now. And you have so much to be appreciative of. A thriving business, a beautiful wife who adores you, and the respect of everyone in this industry. You have truly built an empire, Marcus, and you did it the right way, with integrity and compassion. I learned that success means nothing if you do not have people to share it with. My wife Elena, my brother James, my parents, and you, David, you are my true wealth. The money and the accolades are nice, but they are not what gets me out of bed in the morning. Speaking of Elena, I heard you two are expecting your first child. Congratulations, my friend. You are going to be an incredible father, and I know that baby is going to be born into a family filled with love. Thank you, David. Elena and I could not be more excited. We have already started decorating the nursery, and we spend every night talking about the kind of parents we want to be. I want my child to know that their value is not determined by money or status, but by their character and their kindness.
Marcus, what are you working on so late? You have been in your office for hours, and you missed dinner. Is everything okay?
I am sorry, Elena. I have been writing something important, and I lost track of time. It is a letter to our unborn child, explaining the journey that led to their existence and the lessons I have learned along the way.
That is beautiful, Marcus. Can I read it?
Of course. I wrote about how I lost everything and how that loss ultimately led me to you. I wrote about the importance of surrounding yourself with people who love you for who you are, not what you have. And I wrote about never giving up, even when the world seems determined to keep you down.
My dear child, by the time you read this, you will have heard many stories about your father's success. But I want you to know about my failures, because they taught me more than any success ever could. I want you to know that your mother saved my life by believing in me when I could not believe in myself.
I want our child to understand that life will knock them down, sometimes repeatedly. But it is not about how many times you fall. It is about how many times you get back up. The people who abandoned me in my darkest hour did me a favor, because they made room for the people who truly deserved to be in my life.
And most importantly, I want you to know that love, real love, does not come with conditions. Your mother loves me not for my wealth or my status, but for my heart. Find someone who loves you the same way, and never let them go.
Marcus, I have to tell you something that happened yesterday that I think will give you closure. I ran into Victoria in the grocery store, and you will never believe what has become of her. James, I told you years ago that I do not care about Victoria or what happens to her. She is part of my past, and I have no interest in revisiting that chapter of my life. I understand, but I think you need to hear this. Richard left her 2 years ago for a younger woman, and she lost everything in the divorce. She is working as a cashier now, living in a small apartment, and she asked me about you. She wanted to know if there was any chance you might help her. Help her? The woman who abandoned me when I was in the exact same position she is in now? James, I have moved on from any anger or resentment I felt toward Victoria, but that does not mean I owe her anything. She made her choices, and now she has to live with them. That is exactly what I told her. I said that you have built an incredible life with Elena and your two beautiful children, and that Victoria had her chance and blew it. I hope you do not mind that I was so direct with her. I do not mind at all, James. In fact, I am grateful that you handled it so I did not have to. Victoria's situation is sad, but it is a direct result of her own decisions. She chose money over love, and in the end, she lost both. Meanwhile, I chose to keep going, and I found everything I ever wanted. And that is the moral of your story, brother. Never give up, never let someone else define your worth, and always remember that the people who leave you during your struggles do not deserve to share in your success. You are living proof that the best revenge is living well. It is not about revenge, James. It is about redemption. I did not succeed to prove Victoria wrong. I succeeded to prove myself right. And now I get to spend every day with a woman who loves me unconditionally and children who will never have to wonder if their father is going to give up when things get hard.